Welcome back. In just a matter of weeks, meteorologists will have a new tool in the sky, keeping an eye on the atmosphere over the United States. A new satellite, currently named GOES-T, will launch from Cape Canaveral in Florida.
Tonight, meteorologist Alex Forbes introduces us to GOES-T and shows us how it should benefit Central Georgia.
Back in 2016, the meteorological world was turned on its head with the introduction of a new satellite series known as GOES-R. For the first time, we could see data at such high resolution that we could see thin, wispy clouds in the eye of a hurricane. This groundbreaking satellite program began with GOES-R, the original name for GOES-16, launched in November 2016. Whenever these satellites are launched, their names are transitioned from letters to numbers. The second of the series, GOES-S, which is now known as GOES-17, was launched in 2018. Shortly after GOES-17's launch in 2018, engineers with NOAA and NASA discovered a problem. There was an issue with the cooling system on board. That's right, aboard the satellite, already in orbit about 22,000 miles above the Earth's surface. Pam Sullivan is the GOES-R program director for NOAA.
We actually are getting more than 92% of the intended data right now. So most of the time, the satellite works just fine, but there's during the very warmest times of day, it actually runs into problems and we can't keep the detector data good.
The good news is engineers were able to fix that problem on the two yet to launch before they leave Earth. Originally scheduled for May 2020, the cooling system issue delayed the launch of GOES-T so the repair could be made. GOES-T will take over the GOES-West domain, which watches over the western United States and the Pacific Ocean. In the future, GOES-17 will become the backup for that domain. And while GOES-West doesn't watch Central Georgia directly, it still provides valuable data for our forecast. Dylan Lusk is a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City.
Let's say you have a gigantic low pressure system that occurs over Japan. That system ends up impacting the jet stream, creates waves and ripples in it that basically flow all the way through Alaska and the Pacific, all the way into the west coast of the United States, and then eventually impacts us.
The launch of GOES-T is scheduled for March 1st from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Once in orbit, NOAA and NASA will run a series of tests with the goal of getting the satellite in operational mode as soon as January of 2023. I'm Alex Forbes, 13 WMAZ News.
GOES-16, which watches over Central Georgia, the eastern U.S. and the Atlantic, has the same hardware as GOES-17, but did not experience the same kind of issue. To hear more from Pam Sullivan and Dylan Lusk, look for the story on 13WMAZ.com. And Alex Forbes will be in Cape Canaveral, Florida for the launch of GOES-T. You'll be able to watch his reports right here on 13WMAZ.